Imagine two guys standing out in a pouring rainstorm. The first guy is named Chad. Chad makes $200,000 a year. He's holding a massive 6-foot bucket to catch the rain. But there's one problem. His bucket has 100 holes drilled into the bottom. The money pours in, but it pours right back out just as fast. At the end of the storm, Chad is exhausted, stressed out, and one missed paycheck away from total ruin. Now, look at the second guy, Dave. Dave makes $45,000 a year, working a standard 40-hour week. He's holding a tiny coffee cup. But Dave's cup is made of solid steel, not a single hole. The rain is just a drizzle for him, but he catches every single drop. When his cup fills up, he pours it into a barrel, then another barrel. At the end of the storm, Chad is begging for a drink, and Dave is sitting on a $500,000 net worth. We are obsessed with income in America. We think the answer to all our problems is just make more money. But if you have bad habits, making more money is just pouring water into a leaky bucket. You don't get richer, you just speed up the flow of waste. Today, I'm going to show you how a regular guy making $20 an hour uses a 100-year-old Japanese psychological secret to patch the holes, beat the system, and build massive wealth. So why is our friend Dave usually broke? It's not because he buys a $7 oat milk latte once a week. Let's be real. Skipping coffee saves you $2,500 a year, which means in just 400 years, you'll finally have a house down payment. Congratulations. No, Dave is...
You tap your phone at Target, you double-click Apple Pay for Uber Eats, you hit one-click buy on Amazon at 11 p.m. while half asleep. You never see physical cash leave your hand, which means your brain never registers what psychologists call the pain of paying. Because the pain is numbed, Dave doesn't realize he's bleeding out until the end of the month when he looks at his bank statement. That's not budgeting. That's a financial autopsy. The patient is already dead. To fix this, Dave doesn't need a complicated spreadsheet or a fancy AI budgeting app. He needs to reintroduce friction. He needs Kakeibo. In 1904, Japan's first female journalist invented this system. Translated, it means household financial ledger. It's a physical notebook and a pen. Here is how you apply it to an American salary. Most people do basic math backward. Income minus spending equals savings, which is usually 0. Kakeibo flips the equation. Income minus savings equals spending money. You pay yourself first. If Dave takes home $3,000 a month and wants to save $500, he automates that $500 straight into a Roth IRA the very day he gets paid. He creates artificial scarcity. Now he is forced to survive on $2,500. When your pool of available money shrinks, your brain suddenly stops wasting cash on stuff you don't even care about. And to kill the Amazon impulse buying addiction, Dave uses the 30-day rule. When he sees a gadget he wants, he doesn't buy it. He writes it down in his notebook and waits 30 days. 9 times out of 10, the dopamine urge fades. He realizes he was just bored or stressed, and he saves $100 by literally doing nothing. But here is the ultimate secret of the wealthy. Wealth is not a number. It is a ratio. It is the gap between what you make and what you spend. You cannot outsave a math problem forever. Cutting expenses is playing defense. But once Steve has his life stabilized on his $45,000 budget, he plays offense. He uses his evenings to take an IT certification or learn sales. Within 18 months, he jumps jobs and boosts his income to $65,000. And because he is already disciplined, he takes 100% of that $20,000 raise and dumps it straight into index funds. Every dollar he saves isn't money he can't touch. It is a tiny employee he just hired to buy back his freedom.
The path to getting rich on a low salary doesn't start with a lottery ticket or crypto gambling. It starts with a notebook. So here is your mission. Head down to the comments right now and confess your biggest leaky bucket expense. Drop it below, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next video.